Good morning, good afternoon, hello. My name is Aria Hughes and I'm in the 7th grade and I will be showing you my adaptations project for history. So this is the building that I built for this project. Now, this building is called Fort Griffin, and before I show you the adaptations that I use for Fort Griffin, I'm going to explain to you the facts and history behind Fort Griffin. Well, to start off, Fort Griffin was built by U.S. military in 1867. Now, this fort was built to be used in the Civil War by U.S. troops. Now, if you're wondering, a fort is just a fancy word for military base, and military base is just really somewhere the military can just go there to eat, sleep, shower, drink water, whatever they need to do to take care of themselves, because they can't go home and do that. Now, this specific fort was a base for Mackenzie troops, and Mackenzie troops fought in the Civil War on the U.S. side, but this was a fort that they would use to take care of themselves. Fort Griffin was abandoned in 1881 because it was no longer needed because, well, around this time, the Civil War ended, and also Fort Griffin was already small, and raids happened in war, so there were probably a lot of reasons that Fort Griffin was abandoned, but these are the few that I picked up. Now, see, after Fort Griffin was abandoned, because erosion exists, over time the fort started to deteriorate and break down. But then we're gonna get onto that later. But for now, over time, explorers, they went and traveled to Fort Griffin, and because Fort Griffin was used as a military base by the Mackenzie troops, the trail leading to Fort Griffin was later known as Mackenzie Trail. This fort was built at Albany, Texas, and the zip code, if you want to ever visit, is just TX76430. Now, see, I know you're probably wondering, Aria, why did you choose this? Or why is this fort so important? Well, the reason why it's so important is because it was a cavalry fort. And, to be specific, it was the 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment. And cavalry regiment is just a fancy word that means modern soldier who fought in armored vehicles. So, this is where soldiers would go to rest. And now, because I'm done explaining the facts and history behind this building, I'm going to explain to you its adaptations. So for my adaptations for this building, because this building was built in the mid-1800s or late 1800s, whatever you want to call it, back then they didn't really have any electricity, lights, or Wi-Fi. So, and because I think it's really running water, and because I think it's important to have running water other than just letting water sit in the bath, those are one of the adaptations that I used. And another adaptation that I used were lights, because I feel like it is quite a hassle before having to do certain things. You have to light a lantern, or while you're doing certain things, the lantern goes out and you have to put that back on. I feel like that would be very annoying at night. Another adaptation I used was electricity and Wi-Fi, because for these lights to work, you need electricity and Wi-Fi, because if you or anyone else were to ever visit Fort Griffin, it would be kind of hard to post photos or even take photos without any Wi-Fi. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Good night, good morning, goodbye.